everyone, welcome to the Distilling Insight YouTube channel. Today we'll be dealing with how to automatically set table of contents, a clickable one that automatically update itself. So we're having this topic before us, the green energy sustainable feature, and the write-up does with the introduction, the definition of green energy, the importance, the overview, the types, and moving down, you realize that at this point we're having the 2, which is in similitude to 2.0, the types of green energy sources. The 2.1 talks about that type, which is solar energy. The 2.2, which is the wind energy. However, under the solar energy, we have the photovoltaic energy and the solar thermal system as the types under the solar energy. In order to get this done, one of the ways to get this done but tedious is to just copy all of this and start checking out one after the other whether they are in alignment with the pages that you have actually you ought to pick. So one of the things that you can do for this is just to come here, create a page for table of contents. Once you create a page for table of contents, then you start typing table of contents. So once you finish typing the table of contents, you go to the next and you start deleting one after the other the content under each table. So you delete this in order for you to be able to arrive at your table of contents, something like this. Do this also in order to get this. Move down, delete in order to get this. And after doing all this stressful job, you still need to move ahead to go and be keeping up with the numbering of each of this page. You just need to keep up with the numbering, maybe this page 1 and the likes and the likes. But in order to save our time and not to bore us, so I'm going back to what we were having for the table before now. So intentionally, I've actually separated the title of the write-up from that of the content itself. So I just want to quickly do this write-up to suit it, to look as it should. So if this is the front page of the write-up and this is the table of green energy, a sustainable future, now the next page should be the page for the table of contents. So at this page, once I click on this page, which I want the table of contents to be, the next thing for me to do is to go pick each of the contents that I want. Now, how do I go about that? I'll need to highlight notes. You always need to invest your time upfront in order to make it easy for you as you go on in the write-up. So we are having several under this style. We're having the normal, no spacing. No spacing, you can see the difference. It shrink the write-up together. And this heading, you'll see it changes the color because that's what we're going to be using for the table of contents, the header. So this heading, if you move downward, you see that it's moved to heading 2 and the likes. But at this point, the first one is an header 1 because it is like a main title of the chapter. Now, the next thing after it is 1.1. That's going to be heading 2. So at this point, when I pick heading 2, you see it activated heading 3. Now, because it's 1.1, the next one too is still going to be heading 2. While if I move on and I still have this 1.3, is still heading 2. 2.0, which is 2, the second chapter, is going to be heading 1 because the 1.0, which is the first chapter, is heading 1. So this is also going to be heading 1. 2.1 will be heading 2. Then 2.11 will now be heading 3. Heading 3. So by the time you click on this, now moving forward, we have this is going to be heading 3, and we move downward like that. We are also having this is going to be heading 2, Then this is going to be heading 3. So by the time we move downward to the chapter 3, you see that 3 here, 3 is still going to be heading 1, because at this point 3 is the first chapter. That's the 3. The third one is actually speaking to the chapter, the first 3. Then 3.1 is going to be heading 2, and 3.11 is going to be heading 3. Now once we get this done, after we might have picked the heading and we want to try to pick up or to get the table of content from what we've done thus far, all we just need to do is to come to the place where we want the table of contents to appear and go to references. Under references, you're going to be seeing table of contents. So here, when you click the drop down, it's going to show you the options: automatic table 1 and the automatic table 2. So I prefer, instead of content as the heading here, I prefer it being table of contents. So I'm picking up this on this, and you see the difference now. Immediately I click on that, it shows each of what I've just done. You can see this table of content, it shows the introduction, the types, the each and everything that has been done there. Now we can also note something here. Each of these things that have been kept under the table of contents are clickable. If I click on this arrow pointed down, you see that it has collapsed everything under the 2, which is the chapter 2. Same thing can also happen for chapter 3, because everything that is under 3 has also been collapsed, and it's now picking up everything after 3 because they have not been grouped outside the third selection, which is the one that will speak for header 1. So if I should continue in this manner, please note at this point for the third one, for chapter 3, it stop at 3.11. For chapter 2, it stop at 2.21. So I just want to show us again how we can, probably we've started working and we want to update our write-up to actually go into the table of content as we move. So all you just need to do is still to come here, go to the home tab, you pick up the header you want. This is header 3, this is going to be header 2, this is going to be header 3 as well. Now I want us to exhaust each of the heading in order to appreciate what is being done presently. So moving downward in the write-up, we have each of these write-up in this manner. So I just want to quickly rush up the chapters. Now this is going to be header 1. That's for the chapter 4. I also want to pick on the 5th one. This is going to be chapter 5. So header 1. Then chapter 6 is also header 1. Chapter 7 is also header 1. Chapter 8 is also header 1. Then chapter 9 rather, the conclusion is also header 1, and the references are also header 1. So at this point, if I just want to pick up my table of content, once I click on it this way, it gives me this heading. It's either I come here to update it, to update it. When I click on the update, you see that it gave me to the 10th header, which was actually captured. Now with this, you already have the table of contents. Now the beautiful thing about this is that whenever there is changes down there, there is a way this can be done. However, there is also a forward thinking thing that you need to note. In case you are having this update table, you can see, you can, instead of picking up the update table here, you can always come to reference and click on the update table, and it updates both the things that has been selected and the page number automatically. Now if we go to go down, you see that those things that has not been picked are the ones that are still showing black in order for you to know the designations that you're working with. This presently is header 3, this is header 2, and header 3. And if I just want to pick any of the ones in other chapters that I've not picked before, I want to pick 4.1, which is header 2, 4.111, header 3, 4.12, header 3. By the time you go up there, you realize that each of these has not been updated because we've not clicked on the update. You see the 4 point, it's not yet updated. The 2 is not yet updated. However, when you put your cursor down here and you click on it and click on update table, immediately you get it updated on the system. You can see 4.1, 4.11, and the arrangement is superb. And that's it. That's it about the table of content that you need to know. However, in order for us to be able to learn further of how important table of content is, when you click out on this table of content, you realize that each of this table of content, they are having the numbers in terms of introduction, theory, definition, green. If you want to go further beyond this, you can always come to this reference, click on this table of contents, pick on the costume table of content. Now, the reason you are saying that is because there has been some settings here. Now, you can always show your the level you want it to be, whether it is going to be level 4, level 3. If you want it to be just 3 headers, that's the way it's going to look. And if you want dotted lines to be in between, you can always set it from here. If you want it to be the hyphen, the underscores like this, so by the time you click on this, replace the table of contents, yes, so you can see that there is changes there because of the what we did. And if you also decide that your costume, you just want to remove, you want it to be something of this nature, so you're also replacing this, and you see it's changed. You just change every of your write-up to different format entirely. And if you don't want it to be in that manner, you just want it to be the way it was before, you can always keep it in this manner in which it was before. So whichever way it's fine with you, all that we are saying is that it's possible for you to not to worry yourself about creating or stressing yourself up about creating table of content when having your write-up, either your thesis, your academic research, your report, and lots more. Thank you for listening. Do ensure to give it a thumbs up if it actually impacts you. From Distilling Insight, we love you and we look out for further engagement. Thank you and bye-bye. Also note that we'll be dropping this content, this table, this write-up in our comment section in order for you to be able to practice with it, as you will realize that we've decided not to complete it to manage time, so you can always complete it yourself and see how beautiful you've been able to work with this. Bye bye.